All right, guys. Hello. I am so glad to see all of you today. I hope that everyone in the US had a healthy and happy Thanksgiving and that now everybody is into the holiday season proper. It's time to do some fun little projects for, cheering up the house a little bit. Put up your decorations and your Christmas trees and all that good stuff. So let me know if you guys are out there. I knew there were some folks waiting, so I'd love to see that you're there. Let me just double check my chat. Hey, there we go. Good to see you, Nancy and Ms. Tamps. So I'm glad you guys are out there. I see that we've got a couple other folks. So if you're lurking and you feel like it, please do say hello and tell me where you're from. We've been doing this live stream for quite a few weeks now. Can you believe this is like 35 episodes that we've done? This is crazy. So I've really been having a ton of fun with it. So before we get too far today, I wanted to announce some winners. So the last time we met, we had a little survey, and thank you guys for filling that out. It was really helpful as I try to shape the workshops that I'm going to be doing for 2021 and how I'm going to be tying that into this series as well. And I think you guys are really going to like it. So thank you for that. And so I have a winner from that. And then I also have a winner from our sketch challenge. And we didn't have a lot of players this month. Actually, we just had one. So she wins by default. And that means that you should play. You should definitely play because you never know when you're gonna win. So congratulations to Sue for playing with the Sketch Starters Challenge, and congratulations to Paula for winning the drawing from the survey. So ladies, just go ahead and email me and I will get that information sent over to Altenew so you can get your $15 Altenew gift certificate. Yay! So awesome. Okay, so winners done. Okay, and then I can move my head because I'm always putting my head in the wrong place here. So let's turn that off. Yay. All right. So good. So we've got Cece out there. Hello, Cece. So good to see you. It's so late in Sweden. I bet you it is just dark and frigid out there, isn't it? It is the season, right? Paula, yay, congratulations. So glad you're out there. Sue, do not feel guilty. You played, you deserve it. Take the $15 and run with it. I'm sure that you've got plenty on your Altenew wish list that is going to totally help out. So go for it. Don't feel guilty. Anne, so good to see you. I saw Anne earlier this week. She did a workshop with us in Altenew. So that was awesome. And who else was out there that comes to visit? I can't think of her name. Oh, it just popped out of my head. Anyway, we had a fun time on Tuesday. I had a little glitch with the Zoom at the end, but I ended up recording the end of it. So if you haven't checked that out yet, Anne, that is hopefully that's in your inbox, the survey from that class and the little end snippet of me putting together the cards for you. So anyway, Miss Tamp, you really have a competitive streak in you, don't you? Yep, you better play along with the sketch challenge next time. So there will be a new sketch challenge. I'm going to try to put that up tomorrow. So you will see that. And also tomorrow we have a new release coming out with Altenew. So that'll be going into your inboxes if you are a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, click on the subscribe link down in my description there, and that'll get you subscribed to my newsletter and my blog posts. So that way you know when we have new stuff coming out with Altenew. Let's see what else. Subscribe to this channel, totally. And I also have a list of all of our products that we're going to be using for the next 2 weeks. And those are affiliate links. And if you use them, I may get a small commission. No additional cost to you. It helps keep this free and fun. So, I've been doing like so much, guys. It was nice to have a few days off last week because I could like focus and think and kind of work a few things out. So that was good. But today we are back at it. And as promised, we're going to do a 2-week class, basically creating this lovely little holiday tag. And so I want to show this to you here, and then we'll go down to the tabletop. Look at all that fun texture. She's got all sorts of little sequin snow, and she's shiny, and oh, wait for it. She lights up too. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. And we're going to take 2 weeks. I wanted to take my time with it. We probably could have fit it into like a 90-minute session, but I thought if we split it up over 2 weeks, that would be good. That gives things a little bit of time to dry as well. So we're going to kind of play it by ear as far as like what we are going to create today. I have an idea in my head of what we're going to do, so we'll see how far we get, and then we'll finish it up next week, and then you'll have a cute little decor project to put in your house somewhere. Okay. And yes, Miss Tam, go find Becca. We need to have her here. Okay. Awesome. Excellent. So glad to see you all out here. Let's get crafting. Okay. Down to the hands we go. All right, guys. So again, here is our beautiful little tag. And right now I just have this on here with a little bit of washi tape. I didn't glue it down or anything, but this is actually glued in place now. This is the Tim Holtz light string. And isn't that cute? So I have the lights hidden behind these little elements here. Now, when I purchased all of my supplies, I thought, well, I'm going to have a mock-up done so you can see what it looks like, and so I could do pictures and stuff. But they didn't have a lot of these left at scrapbook.com, so I picked out an alternative, and it is these little mittens. So I'm going to be using the mittens for this project, so that way you'll get to see kind of how they both look. And we're going to do up our little girl in some different colors. I may even make her a different ethnicity. We're going to just kind of see how that goes. So, and I'm going to do a couple different techniques with her. So that's why this is going to take 2 weeks, because I want to show you some options. Okay. So this is stuff that is translatable, right? Everything that we learn here, you can do with other projects. So this kind of layout, this kind of idea, just find a little girl that's maybe, you know, sunshine, summery at the beach, and then you turn these into like some starfish or something like that, and all of a sudden, and turn this into brown like sand, and all of a sudden you have a summertime look, right? So it's not too hard to take these kinds of ideas and turn them into something else. So let's get moving with some creativity here. And of course, be asking me questions along the way. And if you don't have the products, but you're thinking about doing this project, I do have all the links down below. There's a single link bookmarked here, pinned at the top, that will take you to like a whole shopping list. I tried to get everything, I think I did get everything from scrapbook.com. So if you're doing one-stop shopping, you can get it all from there, which is great. Okay. So let's go through some supplies we're going to be using overall, and supplies we'll be using today. So the lights are these Tim Holtz Ideology 2-strand lights, and there's a lot of lights on here. I just kept going and going and going, and I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, there's a lot of lights on there. So with the mitten, we'll see how far we make it. I might actually clip the mitten list short. Oh, thanks, Paula. I'll get to that in a second. Okay. So that and sticky squares, these two are going to go together, but we're not going to use them today. The other one is our cute little girl. Now, LDRS came out with a whole little suite. There's like 3 or 4 different ones. So if little Winnie here doesn't float your boat, there's 2 or 3 others to choose from. Of course, you can pull from your stash if you have another character that you like. All right, so cute, just like a little one-off character. I kind of like that idea. I already have her stamped out for our project today. So that's some other things that we're not going to use today, but we're going to use overall are these. These are the number 8 thick boards from Tim Holtz. Now, and it has like a little reinforcer on it. We're going to use the reinforcer today to get the color on it. I don't know that we're going to get to the tag. Tag is going to get covered by this really, really cool paper. It's Anna Griffin. And it's gorgeous. I just love it. I don't normally go for a beige color. Usually I'm more white. When I pick out my tones, whites versus the beige tones. But for some reason, this one just really appealed to me. And see how much of it gets hidden anyway. So it really just becomes kind of background noise. All right. So those are things that we're going to use, but probably not today. I am going to leave out this little reinforcer though, because we're going to color that. All right, so I've got my little mittens, my Brilliance inks. These are a Sukaneko ink, and they are awesome. They dry fast. They are are amazing in color. I mean, they are just so shimmery. These are totally worth having in your kit because it's so nice to have metallics that stay metallic and that dry and don't rub off. So like, see, I put them on here and I'm rubbing my hand on it and see, it didn't come off at all. And this still looks super shiny. These are money. Get these, okay? So those, we're gonna use those today. We're gonna use the Altenew Woodless Watercolor pencils. So if you want to do other watercolor, you can totally do that. And we're gonna use the Altenew Embossing Paste. So those are the things we're definitely getting to today. Now we're gonna rewind a little bit. Miss Tamp, you bought everything there was, and now you find out there's mini lights. You didn't know about the mini lights. Oh, yes, mini lights. They are so awesome. I like these because they have an on-off switch, which is super nice. So you can just, you know, set it up in your house, wherever, and then when you want to turn it on, you can turn it on. You know, the ones from Pear Blossom Press, I'm a fan of those too, but you have to press them to get the light to work. So, you know, you're not going to stand there and hold it all day, right? So anyway, I really, really like these lights. I hope Tim comes out with ones that are just white that we can use throughout the year because these are so awesome. Okay. Oh, you got a brayer too. That's so awesome. Yes, you are. I'm really enabling you, aren't I? Okay, so I did want to rewind because before this goes past. So Paula, yes, the Wild and Free PDF is available. I finished it. And the link is down below. The link will take you to like the master page that has all of the PDFs on it. That PDF is now available. I finished it, I think, on Monday, and I did extend the coupon. So if you did the survey and you got the coupon from doing the survey coupon is still valid. It's valid until next Thursday. I extended it because I wanted to give you guys time if you wanted to get the PDF. So that is out there. Thanks for asking because I totally forgot. Okay. So, and I think you're going to like what I'm going to do with the PDFs going forward with my whole master plan. More to come on that next week. I'm continuing to flesh things out. I'm working with Altenew on a few things. I'm really, really, really excited about 2021. Isn't everybody like, oh my God, 2020 just needs to be over? Holy moly. Okay. Oh, I need scissors for these. All right. So I see we've got some lurkers out there. Who's lurking? Say hello. No, really, you don't have to. You can just follow along and have a great time. If you're feeling comfortable and you want to say hi, give us your name and where you're from, because we are a fun-loving, crafty group. So these, oh, I did want to say something about the thick boards and these two. So the thick boards I have found are, Teresa, yeah, you're here. Okay. So the thick boards I've found are a hot commodity. If you can't find them, get yourself some cardboard boxes, like cereal boxes or cracker boxes or whatever, and glue like 3 or 4 of them together. Cut them down into a shape similar to this. Okay, so it just has little cut edges here. You don't even have to do the hole in the center if you don't want to. It just has the little cut corners. This is, and I will even give you the dimensions. So this is 3 inches. It's just over 3 inches, like 3 1/8 inches, like seriously. Thanks, Tim. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1/4. So it's 3 1/8 by 6 1/4. So it's double the length and the width. So there you go. All right. All sorts of questions, guys. Okay, so let me finish talking about this real quick first. So like I said, cut a whole bunch of these out of some cereal box cardboard and then glue them together and put something heavy on top so that they all dry flat. And then you'll end up with something very similar to this. Okay, so that will work. Same thing with these guys. This is just like a medium cardboard. They are not super thick. So if you have a nice little die cut, if you didn't get these or you didn't get the ornaments, if you have a nice die cut that you'd like to use, you can die cut 2 or 3 of them out and then just glue them together to make them a little bit more substantial. Okay, so this is definitely not like a barrier to doing this kind of project. You just have to get a little creative if you don't have the supplies available. Okay, no big deal. Or if you want to customize it, that way you could change the top of here. If you wanted to have more of a scallop, you could do that. If you wanted to use snowflakes instead of the mittens or the ornaments, you know, you can make it your own, right? Okay, so I see questions and other things going by. Teresa, I'm so glad you're here. Teresa was the other one at the live with us with Altenew on Tuesday. So Paula is asking about the lives on Zoom. And yes, it is late in the UK. You can watch and chat. And then, yes, you will get the replay in the survey link that comes in later. So you can replay it and create afterwards if you want. Super easy. And then, like Teresa said, you get it like about 2 weeks to watch the video if you want. Okay, yeah, and I have another class in December that I'm doing. I have a class in January that I'm doing and 2 classes in February that I'm scheduled for with Altenew. So, wow. Yeah, and I think they're all Build-A-Flower classes. We're kind of moving into Build-A-Flowers. So it's a nice way to increase that collection, right? All right. Yeah, Teresa, those Pear Blossom press lights are awesome. Yeah, and the being able to watch the class again is really helpful. And Teresa, yes, I saw you share your projects. Thank you so much. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to color these mittens. Now with the ornaments, I did the platinum on the little string here, and then I did a mix of the cosmic copper and the galaxy gold. Okay, and then this guy I did in the starlight. Okay, so but you know what, I just went direct to paper, so you kind of need to decide how you want these to lay out, or you need to do both sides with it. But I'm thinking that my mittens are gonna kind of end up more like this, so like opposite of what your hands would be. But that way, like the little thumb can stick out. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do this. And I don't know that I want the thumbs to stick together. So this is what I'm going to go with. All right. I may only use one. All right. So I wanted to show you the blend here. So I'm starting with the Galaxy Gold. I'm going direct to paper with these. And watch how beautiful this is. It covers so well. And look at that. These are really, really great inks. And Sue, I saw your comment go by that you've had these for years. Yeah, these are really great. They have been out forever and a day, and they dry really awesome and get really good coverage. And they're water-based, so they're going to just clean right off. All right, so I've got a nice little layer of gold on here. So I'm going to take the cosmic copper and I'm going to add an accent to it. So just a little bit on the top here. All right, and so that doesn't look so hot right now. But if I use my finger just to soften that edge a little bit, then that starts to blend that in. And then I can add, whoa, just a little bit more gold. Isn't that pretty? So now I've got like this coppery gold little mitten. It's so cute. I love it. All right, so let's do that again. It's gold all over. So for my US friends, did you have a good Thanksgiving? I hope you did. We did. It was super quiet here. It was just me and my husband, and we had awesome food. The turkey was great, and all the sides were fantastic. So I made my husband likes pecan pie, but I really wanted a cheesecake. So I thought, you know what? There's got to be like a pecan pie cheesecake. Well, there is. I found a recipe. It's literally a pecan pie layered on top of a cheesecake. And I thought, oh, this is going to be epic. It's going to be fantastic. And I made it, and it looked spectacular. And I brought it out of the oven, and I looked at it, and I'm like, those pecans on the top, like, so it's going to be a cheesecake, like a traditional New York style cheesecake with a pecan pie literally sitting on top of it. And the top did not look like a pecan pie. Like, the pecans didn't have that nice coating of the mixture underneath it. It did not have any of that layer. All I could see was cheesecake. I'm like, where did the pecan pie layer go? Like, where did that jelly layer go that's in between the filling? Like, where did it disappear to? And funny things always happen to pecan pies. Well, it like seeped down into the cheesecake, and it infused itself in the cheesecake. And then you could tell that like some of it made it all the way down to the bottom crust. And that got super sugary, but it was so tasty. But you could see like these little like strata of filling from the pecan pie in the cheesecake. So it tasted like caramel. It tasted like a caramel cheesecake with pecans on top. It was so good. It was so good. I will make it again for sure. I told Brian I was going to try it again for Christmas to see if I could get the pecan pie to sit on top. So, yes, our kitties did have a little bit of turkey. We didn't have any onions in the basting for the turkey, so it was totally safe for them. And we don't give them a lot anyway, but all right. So these guys, like, seriously, are done. Aren't those amazing? Like, they look like little metal pieces now instead of cardboard pieces. All right. And they've got just like a little bit of coppery shimmer, a little bit of gold shimmer. They're really, really pretty. So set those aside. All right. Oh, you know what? I need to do this little guy too. So this is the little reinforcement. And this is kind of optional. You don't have to put him on here, but this is super simple. Like, just going into, this is called Starlight Silver. And now I have this beautiful silvery piece. It looks like a washer. All right. So that I'll set aside to dry. Okay. No, these are not shades of Memento cubes. These are called Brilliance, and they are all pigment inks with shimmer to them. So these are like the traditional metals. So Cosmic Copper, Galaxy Gold, Starlight Silver, and Platinum Planet. There are also other ones that come in colors, so like browns and greens and blues and stuff. I have some that are like blues and purples. I have some that are browns and greens. So yeah, these are really great. And these little dewdrops come in a little 4-pack, which is super nice. Okay, so today we're just kind of building the parts. So now we have like our little background elements. Those are drying. So now I want to move into the snow. And this is super easy. Okay, I have some, I have some white cardstock, and it is sized at the 3 1/8 inches to be wide enough for my tag here. Okay, so I want to make these look like snow drifts. I'm going to rip them kind of like so. All right, so the ripped edge doesn't matter. And actually, I can just take like these two, and I'll be able to flip them around and build them up if I want. Like so. Like I could even Just kind of take that off. All right, so there's lots of different ways that you can do that. All right, and I'm gonna grab a third one just in case. Maybe even a fourth. This is kind of cool with like a little drift kind of look. All right, so paper, scraps of paper, cut to the right width. I cut them to the right width. You can use your paper cutter to cut these afterwards, but I found it easier if I already had it set to the right width. All right, so I'm going to take my Altenew embossing paste and a little spatula here, and it's just going to go on. I'm just going to frost it. All right, and this is just a piece of silicone. It's one of those kitchen silicone mats. I just cut it up. I have a whole bunch of different size pieces that I use for different things. All right, so once I have this, and let me zoom in a little bit so you can see how this works. I want you to see the texture. So you can see all the texture on there now. I'm just using the back of my spatula to kind of swirl around and get different texture on here. All right, so there you go. Now it's like a little snowdrift. Pretty cool. All right, and it's going to curl up a little bit. It's going to flatten as it dries. All right, I like to actually just leave them on the silicone if I can, because it's easy to move them around that way. So let me just clean this off. So these actually take the longest to dry out of anything that we're doing. Well, Miss Tam, you bought at the craft store, didn't you? Boy. Fantastic. Merry Christmas to you. Where do you shop in your country? Like, do you have a good stockist, or do you have to shop online? I mean, I know Sweden, you guys got some really great crafts. I would expect that you would have some craft stores that you could shop at. Oh, you just click on my links and go. Wow, okay. Is it expensive, like the import taxes and stuff? And how long does it take to get to you? Yeah, Paula, you know, I find that even here in the US, except for like the big box stores like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, there's not as many craft stores as there used to be, like small mom and pop type places. So sometimes it's hard to find. Watercolors, brand, yeah, Dick Blick, good. We actually have it. I'm really happy we have a Dick Blick here in Omaha, which is nice. I haven't been in it because you'd never get me out of it, but all right, so this was our snow layers. So there we go. Check that out. All right, so that's going to dry just like that. All right. Move the rest of these out of the way so I don't put my hand in them. Yeah, it's sad to see that some of those small shops, whoops, going. Okay, there we go. I'm probably going to zoom right back in because we're going to do some watercoloring. All right, so for the rest of today, we're going to color this little cutie pie in. Now, on this one, I did the black outline. All right. I had to fussy cutter because it does not come with a die. So for this one, I fussy cut. I think for this one, I'll go ahead and run it through my scan and cut and see how that turns out. Oh yeah, scrapbook.com. Yeah, they had a really good sale on Tim Holtz the other day. Oh, it was good. All right, so the reason why I'm doing the watercolor pencils is because I can pencil it all and then we can color it in. Okay, so for this one, I wanted to do some different colors. On this girl, I did the red and green. I actually did her skirt in gold using the Gold Brilliance as well as a yellow pencil. But I thought we would do some different colors. Let's do blues on this one. So like a little ice princess kind of thing. And then next week, I'm going to start with a alcohol marker version of it. I'll use the Altenew markers and we'll do like a sugar plum fairy version. Sure, why not? Okay, so in here I'm looking for, let's see, I've got turquoise and mountain mist, and I think this is dewdrops, and desert night is in here somewhere. Yep, there it is. And then I'm gonna need probably black. I used a lot of paper bag will be useful. Moss will be useful for the little holly. Ooh, moss and Shadow Creek. And we can do let's do the little holly berries. We're gonna do the holly berries in purple. Why not? So I'm trying to stay away from the traditional colors. Oh, I think there was one other color. Ooh, long tea. Yeah, I wanted it. Those are good for like shadows and stuff. You guys are so funny. Okay, so for this version, I stamped the character. Her name is Winnie. I stamped her in Altenew limestone. So any kind of light-ish color will work, because I really was excited that with the watercolor pencils, you can really do no-line watercoloring. So let's do that. I'm going to start with the dewdrops. So I've got like my little color reference here, so you can see, so dewdrops. And I don't care that these aren't really super sharp. I kind of don't want them sharp because I want to be able to put down the color and not leave gouges from pencils. So I like that these are soft. I'm going to use like a pretty soft hand on them. Right, and that's all I'm going to do. So like it's just kind of crazy coloring. Okay, want to come in with some darker colors, so I'll go into, I don't know that mountain mist would work, but I don't think I'm really going to use it, so I'm going to use turquoise just around this edge here a little bit, and then here where the hat bends for sure. Let's get a little bit behind those holly leaves. Hi Heidi, I saw you pop in there. And then a little bit more maybe down the edge here. There we go. Okay, looking cute. So with this, I could really color it all in with pencils and then come back and add water, or sometimes I like to add the water as I'm going so I can see what it is that I've got. So I want to add just a little bit of Desert Night. Just a little bit. Right, these are really, really super potent. They're very, very pigmented. All right, so I just have my damp towel here, and I'm using a number, I think this is a number 1 brush, yeah, because this is kind of like really a small, it's a small image. So I'm just getting some clean water here, and I can start to activate this. I don't want to go right into the dark. I want to work from the light into the dark because I don't want to be dragging the dark out too far. And look at how that just starts to come to life. It's so easy. All right, so remember, you're pushing the pigment around, so you'll want to clean your brush before you go back into any of the light spots, because otherwise you'll just put dark there when you don't mean to. Yeah, these are the Altenew watercolor pencils. Right. And I've used watercolor pencils before and never had good luck with them. These I think are fantastic. Yeah, so once these are wet, you'd never know that they were watercolor pencils. And I like that you can really drag the color quite far before it fades out completely. They're also, they're not super staining, so they don't stick to the watercolor paper after they've started to dry. You can get them wet again and they will continue to move, which is really nice. Like in these spaces here where it's dried out a little bit and I want to move the color again, it works really well. All right. Good for you, Heidi. I'm glad that you're sticking to your spending freeze. That's a good thing to do every once in a while. I spent a little bit over Black Friday, Cyber Monday, etc. They were things that I had had my eyes on for a while, and they were good deals, so it was good. But I certainly did not buy all the things I wanted to buy. All right. So there you go. Yeah, it's, you know, it's all about practice. So that's why I kind of like doing some of these where I can give you some different ideas. So here's an idea of how to, you know, do your colors if you're going to do a traditional red and green. So this one we're going to do in blues, and then we're going to do some markers next week, and we'll do them in purples for like sugar plum berry kind of look. Okay, so this dewdrops did not really show up. I'm going to do just a little bit in her fur so that it's not stark white. So there we go. I think for this girl, so this one I did like a super peachy face, super peach. Let's do someone with a little bit more color this time. Let's do, so I'm gonna pull out Sicilian Amber. No, not yellow ochre. Sicilian Amber. Because I think this is like a nice base for a darker, a medium dark-ish flesh tone to start with. And then we can pop in some like paper bag and such to give it, to give her some highlights and all that good stuff. All right, and with her eyes, I will probably come back. I'm not sure. I might come back with a fine liner and go ahead and color them in darker. Okay, so I did just like a little squiggle here on her nose. I don't want to get too much color in here yet. Like I said, these are really super pigmented. So I want to see what this gets us before going any further with it. Because you can always add more. You can't, it's harder to take this off. I mean, like I said, it doesn't really stain as bad as some watercolors do. So you would be able to lift the color, but you don't want to have to work that hard at it. All right, and so then we can kind of decide if we think it's a little too yellow. Pop in some paper bag that will kind of bring the color down a little bit. Although I think that is starting to look nice, so that's fine. I'm going to let that dry. So that is by no means finished, okay? So this is, I just totally tossed my pencil. Okay, so that first color that I did was Sicilian Amber, okay? So if you're taking notes. And it was very light. I did just a little bit around the hairline and then just like a little squiggle right here up the nose to give that bridge of the nose a little bit of shape. Okay, so that's where we're starting. We're going to let that dry. Let's see, and I'm letting this dry in here too. I want to add in some detail later, but I don't want to do that until it's dry. Okay, so moving on. Oh, we can pop in, we'll go back to the dewdrops and put some light squiggles here on this fur around her neck. All right, and while I'm working on this, let's see. What color hair do we want to do for her? Do we want to do black hair, or do we want to do like a fantasy color hair, like pink? Let me know. Give me some ideas. Okay, so I'm going to start working on her coat while you guys are doing that. And I'm going to go right into turquoise so that this is going to match her hat. And then I need the Desert Night. Get just a little bit of dark. I mean, guys, look at that. You can see as I'm doing this, that this is all the color that I'm putting on there. And it's going to end up being as saturated as what we did up above. So again, just get my brush wet. I've actually been drying it off. So I'm really working with just a damp brush. And then if I feel like I got too much pigment, I'm wiping it off on my rag here. And then work it down. Oh, you guys have some opinions here. Fantasy colors, red, blonde. Hey, Becca, good to see you. Pink or lavender, green or pink, pink Christmas tree, house mouse. Yeah. Cool. All right, so I hear a lot of pink. I mean, I swear, guys, these color pencils will turn you into a no-line watercoloring genius. Because look, I'm just putting the pencil up on the line. So the pencil ends up on the line here. And then when I get it wet, it leaves a little bit of that hard pencil line there. And it just makes it look like you have done your no-line watercoloring like an expert. This is definitely a winner for sure. All right. She's adorable. I still need to come back. So I need to come back and do her buckles. All right. Let's see. What else are we going to do, Blue? I guess we should do her shoes, her boots. In blue as well. That'll really finish the outfit. And then I think we're going to do her skirt in silver. Ooh. All right, looks like I timed this out pretty good, guys, because we're going to finish her up today. And that'll be enough time to go into coloring next week and assembly. It should work. Because I'll have this one all fussy cut out ready for next week. So that, oh, you know what? I can do this too. Here we go. All right, so we wanted to do, well, like I said, I was thinking of doing the little things in purple, but if we do them ruby red, if I do it in ruby red, then she's gonna look like a little patriotic girl. I don't think I want that. Coral Bliss we could do. Let's do Coral Bliss. All right, and then I'll actually play on that with the berries up top as well. Now I might put some of the ruby red in here just to highlight, or low light as it were. Where is that? Ruby red. Yeah, Heidi, I can't rave about these enough. I think these watercolor pencils are just fantastic. There, I didn't get it too red. That's good. All right. Now, I'm going over that with the ruby red, and this is still wet. So it's laying down like even more pigment. You really have to be careful if you're going to do that. Actually, you're almost better off just grabbing some from the brush to add in. There, I didn't want to go too far. Okay, I'm putting that away before I do something I'll regret. Okay, so here's, let's do some paper bag. Let's try to finish her face a little bit and get that color that we're really going for. So paper bag. Again, more in the recesses here to give her more of a rich cocoa tone. Right, and her nose is right here. So I want to add a little detail there. Right, I'm not too afraid at this point to bring it all the way in because I really do want to give her a cocoa complexion. All right, so maybe we're going to go a little bit more. With the paper bag. There. It's kind of a, it's definitely a fair cocoa complexion for sure. But when I compare it to, this one, she's definitely got a lot more color going on. All right. Oh, some lilac highlights in their hair. Yeah, I think you're right. That would be kind of cool. Right, and then like I said, we're going to come back with a fine liner and grab her eyes so that way those will pop again. Let's see. Paper bag. I don't think I want to do, I don't know. Well, maybe I do. I should have let it dry. I should have let it dry. That's okay. It'll dry and we'll finish fixing it up. Okay. Enough futzing with her for now. Now there are a few little spots. There's like one little teeny tiny spot here. And one spot here where you actually see her arm come out. So those are little important places to get. Because it brings it all together. Okay. So, good so far. Let's finish up. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do the berries in silver. And let me grab just a little bit. Okay, and we said a little bit of lavender. Yep, you're right, Becca. You can tell how often I do that to my hair. There. Okay. All right, just coming together. So for her little leggings, let's just do a couple little lines of the light color here. This is dewdrops. All right, and then let's get, oh, I'm going to use this one, the Starlight. So I never have a palette when I need one, so I'm just going to grab a block. So these dewdrops, these brilliants are water soluble. So just adding a little bit onto a block will work spectacularly. And let's get a little more water in there. All right, so I'm doing that just on the little pleats and where there's little folds and stuff like that. And these are just like flowers. So you know how I always tell you, find the little indent where the flower petal is. I'm going to make like a little triangle there and come in. And look, all of a sudden I have little pleats and it's like totally cute. All right, so then to soften all that up, I'll use a little bit of the platinum. And mix just a little bit of the silver in there. There, and now she has the cutest little silver skirt. All right. Okay, so what do we need to finish? Oh, I needed to do those. Those I think are going to get a little bit of black in them to make them pop even more. Well, actually, it's kind of pulling in some of the blue, which I'll take. That'll work. There. All right, so there she is so far. She's totally like a little fairy girl. Adorable. And her gloves. Oh, her gloves. Let's do those up in a little. Okay, she's adorable, but she's also a little right now. That's because she doesn't have any shading on her yet. So I'm going to come in with just a little bit of turquoise, the tiniest bit on her boots. Okay. I need to get her little pockets here. And I think I'll do them in silver. And her buckles I'll do in silver as well. There. Okay, so that's going to dry. Let's see, shading, shading, shading. Okay, so we need to do some kind of strange colors. It's going to feel kind of weird. Oolong tea. I have found this to be a really great shading color. I'm actually going to put a little bit up here in her hair. Now that that's mostly dry. And it works really well to mute those colors and to make them look like they're coming out from under her hat instead of just sitting right next to her hat. It works. I mean, it's just the littlest bit, but it dulls those colors down just a little bit, and it works fabulously. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. Now that her face is dry, I can do this again. There. All right, and then I'll get in, the fine liner is really going to help with bringing out the definition, of course, from her eyes and stuff. Okay, so let's get these guys here. So why oolong tea and not black, guys? Does anyone know? Okay, so the reason why oolong tea and not black is because black is just too dark. Shadows really aren't black. They're a muted shade of whatever color it is you're looking at. So here I'm going in just a little bit of that oolong tea around the edges here especially. I'll get up underneath the holly leaves to make a real shadow. Yep, it's a color wheel kind of thing. So you really don't ever have black shadows. If you look closely, like I always think of a lemon. If you look at a lemon and you look at it like where it's shaded on the bottom side, it's not a darker color of yellow and it's not black either. It's like kind of a greenish brown shade. So when you look at shadows, you kind of have to figure out like what did that, like on the hat, what did the blue mix with to give you a shadowy kind of look? Usually like a greenish color. All right. So lots of oolong tea. All right, get this in. So you see how that kind of made her come to life? There. Okay, so let me grab some fine liners. So there's lots of different kinds. Altenew has new ones. Precision Pen, these are ones from American Crafts that I've been using forever. These are really great too. The Altenew ones though has a 005, which is super, 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 super thin. And I'm going to use that to get her eyes. And actually I'm going to look at the stamp to make sure that I kind of do it right. And you get to look at the top of my head. You have to leave a little, well, actually, I'm going to come back, I guess, with probably a white pen. And put the little glint in her eye. All right, there we go. Super sweet. So now we have our little red and green Christmas girl, and we have our little Snow Queen little elf. She looks like she should have little pointy ears hiding underneath her hat there, doesn't she? Awesome. Okay, guys, so we got a ton done today. We got our little girl colored. Next week, we will do one with the Altenew markers, I think. I might pull out Copics for that. I'll have to do a couple samples this weekend and decide. I'll add to the shopping list in case you're interested in what colors I use. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do assembly. So remember, we've got our mittens done, or if you've got this, you're going to do the ornaments. Those are done, colored up with our Brilliance inks. We've got our snow, which is actually almost dry on our pieces of cardstock using the embossing paste. And then next week we will be able to do assembly. So we're going to assemble onto our tag, and I'm going to show you how to get the lights onto your pieces, and then we're going to like bling it out completely with a ton of sequins. It's so awesome. And then it's going to light up. Very cool. All right, guys. That's it for this week. I hope you guys had a fun time. It was so glad. I'm so glad I got to see you all again. Glad to have a week off, but glad to be back with you. So I will see you guys next week, and we will put this all together. If you do have any questions about tonight's live and you're working on this project, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Because with the replay you won't have the live comments, so just go ahead and leave a comment down below, or you can email me. Either way, winners, don't forget to email me about your prize, and be sure to come back next week, because I'm going to have some news about January and our new stamp focus, because we'll be going back to that, and I'll be talking to you about our little expanded opportunities with private workshops for that, and all sorts of fun things. So we'll put this together, and we'll have another great week. So I will see you guys next week. Everyone be safe, stay warm, and have some fun doing some holiday planning and shopping, and taking some time for yourself. So I'll see you guys next week, and happy crafting.